So I work at a company called Betaworks in New York City. Betaworks is interesting because it's a startup that builds new startups. And if you're in the media space, you might know about some of the companies we've built, like Chartbeat, Bitly. But the company that I cherish the most and I work very closely with is Digg. Digg.com was the first social news website on the internet. And in 2012, we relaunched Digg as a startup where editors and powerful algorithms can work side to side, essentially bringing you what's best about the internet. And so today I'm going to talk to you a bit about one of our newest projects, Digg Elections, its features, and its philosophy. So we all know about this. Digg is all about the web, but the web has its side effects, especially the fact that it's really hard to hold on to your attention. So how do we solve that problem? I think one of the interesting ways to approach the problem is by hacking, because we are in a hacking culture and we want to hack solutions to everything. Think about wiki holes, these long click trails that people go on in Wikipedia, where every successive link feels better and cooler than the predecessor. So we thought, how could we build these incredibly highly seductive, highly focused, single-user rabbit holes of information exploration, where people can just dive in and get all the information about a topic, and that topic could be any kind of news, especially election news. So let me talk about 3 ways in which we are trying to achieve that. First, Betaworks is in a unique position at the intersection of media and technology, so it enables us to have a lot of good, rich data sources like Facebook, Twitter, Instapaper, and Digg. And what we can do is we can aggregate all the information that we get through these media channels. And for example, over the last 4 weeks, we collected almost 52,000 links about the elections. And then we have algorithms that go in and find out the entities and the topics. So we can look at not only the topics and how they got media coverage, but also what kind of public attention they're getting. And I think public attention is really important because that's what the people want, and that's the kind of news we want to serve them. A cool thing that the data science team did is one of the ways in which looking at networks of people and communities on Twitter. So here in blue, you see the conservative community, and in yellow, the liberals. And you can actually dive down and see how links perform in these 2 communities. And you can compare as to which links and which articles perform better in one community versus the other based on their political biases. The second thing I want to talk about is how media today resembles an octopus. An octopus is a fascinating creature because it has 3 hearts. And I think today's media's blood is essentially driven by 3 fundamental factors. First, editors, smart editors. Second, the wisdom of the crowds. And third, algorithms. So what I mean is when we were designing Digg Elections, we thought the front page of topics is still going to be picked by editors. Featured stories, great content. But then what you could do is you could dive down into this entire rabbit hole of news and articles about the election. And there are algorithms that will tell you which topics are trending so you can look at them first. What's also fascinating is sometimes if you ask multiple questions, then you get a better answer. So what you can do here is filter by multiple parameters like domains, topics, and what it lets you do is sort of converge on this one answer that you want. And it really helps you rationalize, streamline, and consolidate your viewpoints on particular election topics. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is the importance of time. Now, we live in a world where the information is brought to us at our doorstep by the stream. And in such ages, it could be really useful to have a way to look back at how topics evolved and what were the major news events in a story being where it is today. So what we thought of doing is having a timeline of major events around every news topic. And the topic could be anything. It could be a candidate like Hillary Clinton, or it could be an issue like gun rights or immigration. And what we actually do is we have these algorithms that can go in and look at not only the velocity of media coverage around particular topics, but also the kind of lexical analysis we can do. So we can see at peaks that there's a lot of talk about emails, and that's how we sort of classify it as an event. And what that helps you in doing is you can always look back into this retrospective set of events that enable a topic to become what it is today. So if you want to know what the fuss about Donald Trump is and how the story snowballed and got here, you can actually go through this and look at that. So So in conclusion, I just want to say these three things can be all summed up by one single sentence. Give the octopus all the aggregation and let it have the time to retrospect. And that's how we are thinking of building digg elections, essentially by building these rabbit holes. And I do know that rabbit holes have had a negative connotation in the past, but in today's world, rabbit holes are increasingly pertinent because it lets you focus and explore your obsession on any news topic without having been distracted by a bunch of channels that seem committed to distracting us. So digg elections launches later in the fall, but if you want early access, and I know you want, then go to beta.works/digbeta and sign up. Thank you.